Welcome in, everyone. I'm your host, Jonathan Coachman, and this...
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They'll run on first down. Dickerson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, Dickerson, and he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards the pickup, first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football.
Touchdown, Packers! Lamar Jackson, 32 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he powers his way up past the 30. Luke Kuechly, the all-pro linebacker, in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I got you.
To throw on third down, Cunningham. And that's complete to Sanders. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
Fielded just inside the 20. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. All right, CD, let's take a step back. Look at the AFC playoff picture with just 3 weeks to go. Hard to believe. Essentially, I think it's 7 teams for 6 spots right now. The Ravens are in, looking good for the number 1 seed, 11-2, essentially with a 2-game lead over the 10-3 Pats, who they beat in Week 9. Then what we got? Chiefs in the West leading right now. Texans currently ahead in the AFC South. How about that wild card picture?
Yeah, how about Buffalo? They had a tough loss at home to Baltimore, but boy, they're playing awfully well. And guess what? They go to New England next week. That game could have big ramifications. And the Steelers, how are they 8-5 on their 3rd, maybe essentially 4th quarterback of the year since they traded Josh Dobbs in preseason? Incredible job Mike Tomlin has done as the head coach there. But the team to keep an eye out for in the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans. They are hot right now, 8-5, and running the heck out of the football with Derrick Henry. Yeah,
I mentioned the Texans currently holding the AFC South lead, but they also have that 8-5 record. It's going to be close down the stretch. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Bryant tacks on the extra point. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the second time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them. There we
go. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Back to throw. Cunningham. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started in minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Tells you whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it'll be a turnover. This is going the other way.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, folks, we gave you a glance at the AFC playoff picture. Let's talk NFC playoff picture. Bit of a shakeup. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On on third down, they turn to Sanders. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
12 yards on the return that time. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Jackson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Alert 3, alert.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
They'll go again with Sanders. He'll have a first down past the 40. And they rattle off a big one. 62 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. On second down, here's Cunningham. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. But now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Cunningham to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And on that last drive, Went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Another run with Sanders. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Cunningham. And that will be incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. They'll keep it on the ground. Dickerson, he's got a 1st down past the 30. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the 1st down as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down now, Dickerson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Now a timeout called for by the defense, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Holt. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Jackson on first down, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Jackson looking to throw on third. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Touchdown.
From 13 yards out. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And he's going to go down again. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Throw left side complete. That's Hope.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A big play there. 92 yards. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. After the sack on first down, Jackson.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down, makes it manageable now.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this...
Hello, everyone. You're watching Madden Ultimate Team, and I'm your host.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. On first down, Dickerson. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He can run for it, and he will. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's third and 10. Now Cunningham. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll run on first down. Dickerson. He's going to have the first down past the 20. Whoa, shifty.
Whoa.
Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. 94 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, from back where that one started, they were hoping probably for just a few yards on the ground there. Instead, they get 90-plus and into the end zone.
And as much credit as I have to give the guys on offense, I often think when I see a run of that magnitude that there has to have been a mistake made, maybe even multiple mistakes on defense, because you're expecting them to run the ball in that stage from that stage of the field. Instead, it turns into one of the longest runs that we're going to see in the NFL.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out. And now they have that opportunity. No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. A quick throw there out to Jeffrey. A gain of 6 there on first.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought.
Now Cunningham has the ball knocked down, and the Packers pick it up. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Looking to throw on second down. Cunningham. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. McCoy. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. .154 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin White gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Can we go back to the days where if you tapped your wrist as a quarterback, that just meant you're going to spike the ball, not fake spike it and try and get something downfield? They just tried it there, and it wasn't successful, but I know what you're thinking, right?
Dan Marino, Jets, 90s.
Yeah, without a doubt. His Dolphins got over on him. They faked the spike play, thought they were going to stop the clock, end up throwing a nice pass for a touchdown, I believe.
And that one results in 35 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now it's Jackson. Touchdown, Packers. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Here comes LaShawn McCoy as he trots back out there now. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Cunningham over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. On the counter, here's McCoy. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? 4th down now after a loss of 2.
And how much fun is it to watch Howie Long play defense? He spent his entire Hall of Fame career with the Raiders, initially playing for Coach Madden, and won a Super Bowl ring with the Raiders as well.
That's Super Bowl 18 over the Redskins, and I think Coach Madden was actually in the booth for that broadcast. And that was, what, 1984?
It certainly was. Big victory for the Raiders, gaining another Super Bowl title.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
That's it. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them.
And I think the ball's out. And the Packers pick it up. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Cunningham from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
45. Mike, 45.
Throwing is Jackson. That escapes the sack. Now he steps away. He'll run it. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On first down, Dickerson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Check, 45 to mine.
Shedding the tackle. Still on his feet.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you called it the right...
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. DK Metcalf. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 1st and 10, Cunningham gets this out to Saquon Barkley. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Here's Cunningham. He's going to let it fly. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. looking to throw again on second down. Jackson escaping the pressure right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. He may try and run for this. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That time they pick up a 24 yards on the keeper. 1st down.
And that's another big-time run. And it sure looks like the leverage game is being won by the offensive line. They're the low man on just about every snap, and they're winning, pushing back the defensive front and creating great space for their runners.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. We focus our attention on the Green Bay defense as they head out. They are looking to preserve this shutout, so for them, a lot on the line.
A lot on the line, a lot of pride that goes into that. Because let's face it, when you've had that kind of a day, you do not want any type of a fluke play to end it. You're going to win the game. That's not the issue. But to have a clean ledger going into the locker room and sitting in film next week, oh, that's satisfying.
Good.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
They're looking to cradle that goose egg. Cunningham. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off play action, it's Cunningham. Man open, that's Terrell Owens. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So it's all over. Green Bay.